germs, sickness, disease. These are the very real monsters that stalk us at all times, but you can only do so much to protect yourself from them, especially when disturbed people like this are on the loose. This footage reposted by Reddit user Not Me No Way shows an absolute barbarian tasting soup from an open soup bar directly from the ladle, the same one other people have to use. As if that wasn't horrifying enough, he just puts the ladle back into the soup, contaminating the entire batch. Maybe it's just wiser to stick with canned soup. Imagine coming home late at night to find a thief stealing your TV. That's exactly what happened to this woman in the footage posted by Reddit user Turned Evil After Ban. But that's not even the most disturbing part of the video. After their thieving efforts have been thwarted, the burglar dashes out of the house. They then come back to stomp on the TV, seemingly wanting to break it out of anger. I guess they never took the time to come up with a plan B. Chasing TikTok trends for clout used to mean doing a dance on camera. Now it means weaving in and out of traffic at over 100 miles per hour. This disturbing development is portrayed in this harrowing footage posted by Gardopolis 2, which shows a person driving recklessly, almost losing control and almost losing their life for it. When a car suddenly changes lanes in front of him, the driver has to swerve out of the way at the last second, almost driving headfirst into a lane divider at high speed. Thankfully, no one was hurt, but the situation had the potential to be much, much worse. It's understandable that cops would need to do something to unwind in their downtime, but what happens when their relaxing activities get in the way of protecting and serving their communities? This footage from 2017 shows two LAPD cops enjoying some gas station snacks and playing Pokemon Go. A harmless act, right?
Or are you watching a video, or are you playing? Oh, I'm watching a video. Oh, okay. I thought maybe you were able to live chat with whoever you were playing a game with online right now.
It was, until other officers put out a call for backup at the scene of a robbery. Disturbingly, the two Pokemon Go addicts ignored the call and continued to collect pocket monsters and talk about their stats in the game. The duo was later investigated and found guilty of violating department policy by failing to provide backup.
Or are you watching a video, or are you playing? Oh, I'm watching a video. Oh, okay. I thought maybe you were able to live chat with whoever you were playing a game with online right now.
What possesses someone to be a bully? At first, this seemingly harmless footage posted by Reddit user I Am Not Borat is just a typical one-wheel fan riding their motorized board along the quiet street. Then from out of nowhere, a gang of bikers rides past laughing at them. The one-wheel rider seems unfazed until the final biker rides alongside them and kicks them off balance, sending them tumbling to the asphalt. The sheer lack of consideration for this person's safety is disturbing, but they don't seem to have been seriously injured. Have you ever seen an elk in real life? They grow to over 5 feet tall, but they can weigh up to 1,100 pounds. That's not the kind of creature a human could challenge lightly. The person in this footage posted by Reddit user Mike is Too Tall must have been feeling particularly brave. After slowing to a stop right next to this fully grown elk, making eye contact with it, and challenging it more than once, I guess you could say he found out. Nothing humbles a cocky person quite like an antler slashed to a brand new tire.
There you go.
fucking flatten my brain.
Everybody handles their difficult times in different ways, but this Russian man has a particularly disturbing method of centering himself. In this footage posted by Reddit user SuperHuntTimeYahawk, we can see the feed of a security camera in the TV section of an electronics store. A few seconds later, a man wielding a hammer arrives and goes down the line, smashing each screen he can reach, sending TVs flying off shelves. The most unsettling part of this already upsetting video is the man seems almost bored while doing this very unusual, outlandish thing. Every neighborhood has that one street that people drive too fast on. Sometimes it's difficult to get speed bumps or stop signs installed, but you know what isn't difficult? Throwing glass bottles at speeding cars. This dangerous, disturbing footage comes to us courtesy of Reddit user YN90, and it shows what might be a mother taking the law into her own hands. Rather than flagging down speeders or trying to get her local government involved, she just chucks glass bottles at the people endangering the children of her neighborhood. In all honesty, it's probably more effective than stop signs anyway. Dogs make great companions, but they can make for even better security. Just look at this pulse-pounding showdown between a family dog and a brown bear trying to sneak into a random house. While brown bears aren't inherently dangerous, they are incredibly powerful and very unpredictable, which makes avoiding them the safer option. Thankfully, this dog barks and shows its teeth enough to get the intruder to turn tail and leave, saving the day. In 2023 alone, 30 people lost their lives after being caught in a fatal avalanche. It's a sobering metric, and it makes the following clip all the more disturbing. Submitted by Reddit user KillGuru, this footage shows a skier attempting to outrun an avalanche. As if that wasn't harrowing enough, the disturbed individual goes on to do a backflip, as if taunting the natural disaster to do its worst. It seems like they made it out okay, but it's not wise to mock nature's fury. It's well known that gray whales communicate through systems of clicks, grunts, and whistles, but have you ever actually heard what those noises sound like? This clip from Reddit user JacobWilliam87 captures several gray whales talking to each other, and the unsettling, otherworldly sounds can be heard as if amplified through a loudspeaker. Several other people can be seen recording the creatures, but what are these gentle giants saying? What do these alien noises mean? In the 1950s, one of the most popular shows on television was I've Got a Secret. The program would introduce a guest with a specific secret, and then a panel of people would then try to discover that secret. The following clip submitted by Jeff Winger G is from an episode that featured Samuel J. Seymour, a man with a particularly frightening secret. He was the last living witness of Abraham Lincoln's assassination. Seymour was 96 years old at the time of this recording, but he only was 5 when he saw something most people only read about. Some workplace accidents are more dangerous than others. This footage from Reddit user Enjoy the Silence shows the moment a smelting accident occurred at a German steel factory. As the molten white-hot metal spills out of its container and spreads through the facility, the workers can be seen calmly getting out of the hazard's way. Their professional indifference to this potentially life-threatening disaster is definitely disturbing. Letting go of a beloved pet after its passing can be difficult. It can be even more difficult if that pet lingers after its passing. Reddit user Warning No 9188 claims to have captured footage of the spirit of his dog as shown in this short clip. Once at night and once in broad daylight, an object on their outside deck moves completely on its own. Is this their dog trying to communicate from the great beyond? Or is this something more sinister? The dangers of reckless driving should be obvious, but some people never learn. This clip posted by International Thai 914 shows exactly what can go wrong when traveling at a car's top speed for extended periods of time. Namely, the tires exploding, suddenly and violently. The footage cuts out after the driver loses control, but we get images of the aftermath at the end. Despite the entire front of the car being decimated, no one was seriously injured. "2023 was a banner year for alien discoveries, UFO sightings, and the like. If the following footage is anything to go by, 2024 is going to be just as active." Submitted by user EFH1, this clip shows very clear UFO activity in the notoriously active Cordoba province of Argentina. The tilted glowing disc is visible for only a few seconds before disappearing behind the tree line, but there's definitely no mistaking it for something made on this planet. If you've ever needed an excuse to avoid a camping trip, look no further than this clip. Submitted by Astrosonic Drive, the footage shows a reasonably disturbed and distressed camper shining a light on a very serious problem. Their tent is encased by hundreds of spiders. Just about every inch of the outside of the tent is covered with 8-legged nightmares, and if the tent zipper hadn't been properly secured, it's not irrational to think that they'd also be inside as well. This disturbing doorbell camera footage was submitted by SomeBlink4182. In it we can see a family enjoying an evening on their front porch when a truck drives by and throws an object directly at them. It's clear that the object is emitting some type of flame, but it doesn't take long for the true horror to set in. In the blink of an eye, the object detonates and reveals itself to be a mortar-type firework, which goes off in close range to not just several adults, but also an infant child. No one was hurt, but the thought of a family's peace being so violently interrupted is truly terrifying. Imagine going about your day in a small town when all of a sudden a mysterious truck pulls up and a helicopter roars through the sky with a heavy machine gun in tow. That kind of experience would be unfathomable for many, but it's exactly what happened in this footage posted to Reddit by an unknown user. Once the machine gun rounds start flying, civilians flock to find shelter. Even a dog can be seen trying to find safe haven as the war rages on outside. A nightmarish situation. Most people wouldn't need an incentive to stay away from a hornet's nest, let alone one that contains a giant hornet. But this clip submitted by Reddit user Sinister warns viewers not to imitate the actions of the professional on display. Having captured the giant Hornet in a dual container contraption, the professional then proceeds to flip the contraption over in an attempt to drown the monstrous bug. All seems well until they lose their grip on the top container, dropping it and giving the Hornet a route to escape and enact revenge. They're able to recover and recapture the Hornet, but this video could have ended very differently. We've all experienced strange noises or bumps in the night at some point in our lives, but Reddit user Faded47 managed to capture their experience on film. In the middle of the night, they were prompted to start recording videos of their surroundings when they heard something sliding around the floor. They focus on the source of the sound for some time until something spine-chilling happens. In the kitchen behind them, the dead silence of the scene is shattered as we hear a glass object being hit and then falling to the floor, shattering upon impact. Peering into the darkness of the kitchen, it's not clear what could have caused the incident.
What the fuck?
Cameras and in-home security systems are becoming more prevalent as the world gets more dangerous, but what if the intruder in your home can't be seen? In this short clip, we can see a motion-activated camera system changing its focus from the front door of a home to what seems to be the living room. At first, that might not seem strange, but the poster, Reddit user Marcus Nalgene, states that this event happened in the middle of the night and the only person was in the house at the time who was fast asleep. What kind of intruder can make themselves at home in your living room without making a sound?
Yeah, for Stan.
This clip from Reddit user Seance Has Begun starts off as a wholesome video recording to send to a friend, but quickly becomes something much more sinister. We first see a woman playing the video game Rock Band, displaying the skills she's developed as another person records. However, as the camera pans through the room to focus on the TV, you might notice that there are more than just two people in this video. For a brief moment, you can see what looks like a ghostly image of a person just standing in the doorway. The apparition is there for only an instant, because once the doorframe shows up in the camera's view once more, it's disappeared.
Michelle's getting really good at the drums. So you might have some competition when you get back. We love you, we'll see you soon.
Ghosts and strange noises in the night can be unsettling, but the most disturbing events are carried out by flesh and blood humans. Take this clip posted by Reddit user Green Snakes, for instance. It shows dashcam footage of a driver minding their own business when a woman runs out in front of the car and throws herself into the front bumper as it slows to a stop. A man then comes in from the opposite side of the street, feigning distress. What we see in this clip is an instance of attempted insurance fraud, which the driver definitely doesn't fall for. Some people will do anything for a thrill, even when it comes to the cost of the safety of themselves and those around them. This disturbing footage of a bridge in Delhi, India was posted by Reddit user rstarphoenix and shows a reckless civilian hanging off the side of an auto rickshaw. His Tom Cruise-esque antics start off as reckless and dangerous and quickly become life-threatening when he collides with a person on a bicycle at high speed. Thankfully, the person recording stopped to make sure the cyclist was okay. Maybe there's still hope for some of us yet. Whale sharks are one of the largest living species of fish in the ocean. The largest one ever recorded reached a length of 61.7 feet, and the species as a whole holds numerous size-related records for the animal kingdom. So what could have possibly possessed this disturbed individual in this footage posted by Reddit user ManOnTractor to jump out of his perfectly fine boat and onto the back of one of these behemoths? It's unfathomable. It's worth noting that whale sharks are filter feeders and generally don't pose a threat to humans, but you do have to wonder what kind of karma will come back around for this kind of disrespect to nature.
الله ايوه ايوه مدير ايوه ما شاء الله ما شاء الله ما شاء خلى نفسه.
My name's Dan Foley. I'm 54 years old and I juggle flaming lawn chairs.
It takes a very specific kind of person to become a professional juggler, but what happens when you've mastered and perfected your craft? Where do you go from there? Well, if your name is Dan Foley, you move on to juggling flamey, unwieldy objects. This footage posted by Reddit user RampChurch shows Dan lighting 3 lawn chairs on fire and proceeding to juggle them with a deftness that could only come from decades worth of experience. Is it a little extreme? Perhaps. Is watching a 54-year-old man juggling flaming furniture in the middle of the night disturbing? Absolutely. REM pods are devices used in paranormal research. Essentially, they detect disturbances in energy and fluctuations and translate that data into different colored lights and sounds. In this clip, posted by Reddit user Potential Sample 3969, we can see a REM pod reacting to something in a room full of creepy dolls. As the person recording the footage tries to communicate with the entity, something shuffles and falls over. Directly behind her.
What the fuck?
We aren't saying you shouldn't have a creepy doll collection, but if you do decide to have one, don't be surprised when there's some disturbing paranormal activity.
Make it stop. Can you make it go to blue? What the fuck?
According to poster Training Beat 7600, they moved into an apartment that was built in 1912 after its previous tenant suddenly vacated the home. For most people, that would be a big red flag. After some disturbing events occur in the house, like the one shown in this clip, they went ahead and did a spirit box session. The result of that session was a voice that repeated the word fire over and over again. And further research showed that the basement of the apartment suffered a fire in 1965. Maybe it's time to check the terms of that lease.
It's fucking moving. Look, it's my hand.
Meteor shower or something else? Many Brazilians probably witnessed the event shown in this next clip thinking it was a beautiful meteor shower. However, it might not have been something so innocent. This clip, submitted by Sinister, shows the classic signs of some kind of object breaking up and catching fire as it enters Earth's atmosphere. A meteor shower is an easy image to fall back on, but as some of the commenters note, the debris is traveling too slowly to be a meteor shower. There were reports of a Chinese rocket over Brazil around the same time. Could this meteor shower be the remains of that? What was a Chinese rocket doing over Brazil anyway? We may never know.